That's awesome.
So the way that I see it is, if I was in front of Jason, obviously butt booty naked because I'm at Camp Crystal Lake, and apparently everybody that he kills has to be butt booty naked at Camp Crystal Lake, right?
Right.
I would go to the kitchen food area, and I would
get a bunch of
fucking lather myself in grease. And Jason, having lived in a forest for 90% of his stupid fucking life, he wouldn't know what grease is, right?
That's true. Because he's stupid.
No, he's smart, but again...
But he doesn't know grease. He's stupid because he doesn't know grease.
He's smart, he just can't display his intelligence because he's never seen grease before.
True.
So Jason, unable to display his intelligence, tries to stab me while I'm slathered butt booty naked in grease, and it slips off.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he would try it a couple more times because he doesn't realize that it's just ineffective. By the time that he figures out that it's ineffective, it's too late. I'm already gone. Unless he follows the trail of grease, then we might have an issue. But I'm still impervious to most of his physical attacks.
What if he understands via, like, trial and error, and then covers his weapon in grease?
I don't think that would make it.
I thought you
know
were
what's funny about this is I'm like 90% sure that there is a person in the fucking movies that covers themselves in grease.
No! Eden, did you just fucking propose reverse grease technique to me?
Maybe?
I don't think covering yourself in grease would stop the grease on me.
Well, two negatives make a positive.
So two positives would make a positive, so it'd still do the same thing.
Yeah, but two positives are awesome. So
they all, I mean, like, no, I'm not saying that I'm objecting to his weapon being covered in grease. That's fucking cool. I'm just saying that, like, it wouldn't do anything. It'd be awesome, but it wouldn't do anything, you know?
But what if he covers himself in grease? Then what?
That still doesn't change the efficiency.
But now you have to succeed in a grease-off against Jason fucking Voorhees.
I don't think that I would be able... I don't think that me... Okay,
I've been on...
me
Sorry,
butt booty naked covered in grease versus Jason Voorhees butt booty naked covered in... I'm not winning.
Exactly.
I missed the button, I think.
Hey, so...
Wait, what's up?
I've been on a phone call for the past, like, 20 minutes now, right? Trying to comfort my partner after a rough day. And I've had to... And here's the thing. You guys have made that job so much easier because I'm just parroting what the fuck I'm hearing you guys say to her, and we are both losing our minds at the concept of reverse grease technique.
I'm a fucking master of my craft. What can I say?
So what if you cover your... If I cover myself in grease, and then Jason covers his weapon in grease, but then I cover myself in flour, right? Then that's fucking like red and blue. That makes hollow greasel.
No,
right.
So
No,
get this. She actually.
So Jason's learning,
Let me have the floor right now. Let me tell you one thing. Because as we were listening to this, Salem piped up with the comment that, hey, because what you want to do if you're covered in Vaseline is then dunk yourself in water, because the water is polar and the Vaseline isn't. So now that's what makes you actually slippery, not the grease itself, a coating of water so that you can't get a grip because polar and non-polar liquids don't mix.
Well, that's implying that Jason could even grab me in the first place because I'm covered in grease.
Well, no, if you want to be absolutely sure that you can't be grabbed, this was her guidance, then cover yourself in water. Or like,
just become the ultimate slip monster.
Right?
Yeah.
So we all know that, like, oil doesn't mix with water,
there's so
obviously,
many
yes?
fucking skeletons. It's all just skeletons
but
down
hear
here.
me out, right? What if what if you cover yourself in grease and Jason's learning, so he covers his weapon in grease to attack you. But then you take a shower so you're covered in water, so his weapon deflects off your body because oil and water
but if you were already covered in grease, taking a shower would make all the water bounce off of you because you're covered in grease.
What if you just started flying because of the oil and water?
Yeah, because that's how that works.
Okay, so now we're doing some troll shit that I'm not a fan of.
No, cover yourself in oil, walk out in the rain, you can fly.
But that implies that Jason Voorhees will also be able to fly because he is now also naked and covered in grease.
So now you are having an aerial battle with butt-booty naked, greasy Jason Voorhees.
I love getting the chance to, like, I have Shadowplay on. I don't know how much of this I've recorded, but enough of it has been recorded.
You are now having a dogfight with butt-booty naked Jason Voorhees.
It's no fight. Neither of us can injure each other. If anything, this is like a show of fucking alpha, like in the wild, like, you know, when two birds like dance at each other.
No, you know the frame of Sukuna and Maharaga just like standing there looking at each other? It's that. You're just having like
wait. Question. So like when we say naked butt booty ass naked Jason, which movie Jason are we talking about? Because it depends. Because if it's Jason from Jason 7, then butt booty naked also implies to his skeleton that you can see somewhere, which technically would give him more of a frame advantage on getting covered in grease because he can just pour it on himself and it gets even more lathered.
What's the frame data on butt booty naked Jason Voorhees covered in grease?
Well, because he's covered in grease and butt booty naked, he'd have to be very light and very, like, all that weight's off of him, right? All the chains and shit.
Do you think he's like Sora, like Smash levels of floaty?
No, I think it's like, you know when Rock Lee removes his fucking, like, weights in Naruto?
Yeah.
I think that's like Jason when he gets butt booty naked and covers himself in grease.
That, like, logically that makes sense.
Because, like, because realistically, those chains that he's always wrapped around, they must, like, those shits are waterlogged and they must be heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Because those are just thick-ass chains. Now, again, theoretically, we have to talk about which movie Jason it is, because depending on the movie that he comes from, he has a variable ass size. So that's going to make him significantly faster or slower when he's butt booty naked covered in grease. Because you gotta remember,
someone like Uber Jason would be really slow.
No, if you're oiled up and butt booty naked, like the ass size matters, right? Like it really does. If you're Uber Jason from Jason X, like he didn't really need it because he was already very well defended and it's just gonna slow him down. But if we're talking like Jason, like Jason 5, like Friday 5, Friday 6 Jason, that boy is moving. Like that boy is moving.
Yeah, like he's nimble.
You know? Yeah. Now, I guess the better question is, what if Jason, similarly to Maharaga, I'm assuming that Jason, being the intelligent boy that he is able to eventually adapt to the butt booty naked grease situation.
Yeah, because he's a skilled hunter, so he would have to adapt to hunt what he considers his prey.
But the question is that, like, how long does that adaptation take?
Are you the predator?
I wouldn't consider myself a predator, no.
But you're both covered in grease and can't hurt each other.
You asked me if I was a predator. That's what you asked me.
Well, yeah, I mean, would you be alien or, like, no?
Okay, that my point here
I'm doing something way different to Alien.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Don't
me too.
get
It's
started.
okay.
No,
yeah.
Anyways, my point here is, so if we look into Jason's skill set, there are a few things that get noticeably enhanced when he's butt booty naked covered in grease, and there are some things that get noticeably dampened when he's butt booty naked covered in grease. First of all, his weird like teleport thing that he does, like that he does in the movies, where he just kind of shows up. I feel like it would be severely dampened because you would hear him coming. You know, you would hear him.
What, like the Solid Snake thing?
You would hear him misfire. But on the flip side, I think his ability to grapple would be substantially improved by being covered in grease.
How? Wait, that seems counterproductive.
No, because think of it this way, right? When opponents see him covered in grease, they're going to assume what you just did. You just made the fatal blunder. So they're going to assume what you just did and be like, oh, he's covered in grease. Yeah, I'm not going to, he's not going to be able to grapple. But again, his frame and the way that his body is, especially again, if we're talking Jason, Friday 7, Jason, he's half a corpse. So he can actually just use like his rib cage to hold you. Which is not affected by grease. Bones are notoriously not affected by grease in the slightest.
Uh-huh. News to me.
Now, so factoring all of that in and factoring Jason eventually surely figuring out how to deal with the whole covered in grease situation, I guess it's then a situation of how long would I have butt booty naked covered in grease to figure out a solution to get me out of this, right? Like,
Yeah.
Because the way that I see it is eventually he's going to figure out something. And by something, I mean eventually he's probably going to try and set me on fire, right? Which is the one weakness to the whole grease strategy.
Well, not all grease is flammable. Is this flammable grease, or?
I said specifically like because remember I was at Camp Crystal Lake, fucking like butt booty naked in the lake, and Jason shows up, so I run to the kitchen and I get the kitchen grease.
Oh,
yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you're at a disadvantage there because Jason's no stranger to being lit on fire.
True.
I think him being a stranger to being lit, I mean, right, but he's lit on fire always just through like normal means. Like he's never been lit on fire.
And if you're both
grease.
covered in the grease, he can set himself on fire and spread it to you, but he can tank it because he's familiar with this. He's already adapted to the flames. You haven't.
Again, I can't get over the concept of Jason Maharaga that this conversation has spat out. So, sorry, can we get a recap for anyone who might have just come in?
Sure. Okay. So the scenario here is I'm fucking having a jolly old time at Camp Crystal Lake, swimming butt booty naked, because that's what you do there apparently in every fucking movie, right? And Jason Voorhees of legend comes out of the lake and starts, doing his shit where he walks towards me with the machete. I have only one option where I go to the kitchen to try and defend myself, and while in the kitchen, I get the amazing idea to cover myself in restaurant grease, which then makes it so that he can't grab me, and his weapon slides right off me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Jason, seeing my strategy and being a smart hunter, replicates it by taking off all of his clothes, and chains and shit, slathering himself in oil, and also his weapon in oil, which really doesn't do anything, but it's like for sentimental value, it's a memoir thing.
Sure.
And proceeds to, and then it starts to rain, so now we're flying. But neither of us can hurt each other because if we ever try to hit each other, we just kind of slide off, and there's no real damage taken.
Yeah.
So as of the moment, we are in deadlock. So.
And then Bebop comes in.
And then Bebop shows
So at the moment, we're in deadlock, and I choose my main. But you see, Jason hard counters me, so now we're in a sticky situation.
Anyways,
can I ask a question before you continue talking?
Sure. By all means.
What are you on? Where can I get some?
Misfire. You're dodging the question, and that's what's pissing me off. So.
Well, I'm just an observer here. I'm just like.
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah. What's
the next play here?
Well, if you're at a deadlock, are you the only target remaining?
I'm the only person at Camp Crystal Lake at the moment.
Oh,
with
then
Jason.
why the hell are you worried? You're the final girl. The final girl always lives.
No, this implies that I'm like at the.
She's like at the.
Oh, did you not hear me? Did I cut out?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I said no. I'm like at the start of the movie.
Oh, you're the first girl?
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
No,
there's
like the
only
start of the
skeletons in
movie,
this
like
cave?
no, like the start of the movie where it cuts to some completely unrelated ass character to show the guy doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the completely
Yeah.
unrelated character?
Yes, but I've
okay.
developed the strategy. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, what I'm saying is the second that Jason is able to adapt to me being fucking tits out naked and covered in oil, I'm fucked. So I need to figure out, like, I need to figure something out here. Because I can't hurt him because he is also tits out naked and covered in oil, but as am I. And the second that he figures out something to do against me, it's raps, you know? Because I can't really hurt him the same way he can hurt me, even if I were to figure out something to do.
Quite the predicament.
So as of right now, just to set the stage, it's raining, we're above Camp Crystal Lake, and we're currently like 30 feet over Camp Crystal Lake, just like floating in the air like fucking Sukuna and Maharaga, like staring at each other.
Yeah, fucking aura farming.
Yeah. Because we're both waiting for the other person to make the first move, while we're both doing fucking like Death Note calculations in our head as what to do next.
Do you think you and Jason would be able to, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, like, I forgot what the stand's called, but just, like, walk on the raindrops because you're covered in grease?
Catch the rainbow.
Catch the rainbow.
Catch the rainbow.
Yeah.
The implication is that we are, like flying because of the raindrops that are surrounding us.
Yeah.
So
I
literally
mean,
catch the rainbow.
I'm assuming that you could. I don't know why. I don't know if that would change anything because we're both already in the air.
No, it would just be like an aura battle in the air now.
Oh, I mean, then yeah, sure. I mean, it doesn't really. Next question.
What does Jason have on him in terms of weapons? Just his machete?
No, he has his machete, which is also covered in oil.
Okay, and that's it?
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, so he can't spark off his own weapon like he does in
No.
the Mori.
No.
We're out
he
of that
can't.
option.
Right. Which does eliminate a source of elimination for me,
Yeah.
but it means that if he's able to get his hands on another weapon that can produce sparks, I'm super fucked.
Yeah, any other miscellaneous piece of metal and you're done.
But as of right now, we are 30 feet above a lake. So,
With no honestly no vision of coming down anytime soon.
no, as long as it's raining, I think we're just up there.
I think
So
you might
have
deadass
until
just be stuck in a permanent deadlock for a little bit.
I think it's... No, because we can move, remember? We can step on the raindrops. For
Yeah, but
aura
you can't
point.
hurt each other.
Right, but I need to figure out a way to get out of here without
Well, you've got the perfect
incurring another
opportunity.
stalemate. How?
Well, if
What
neither
if-
of you can hurt each other, just take advantage of that and leave.
Wait. Okay,
No,
but
he's
Mint,
just gonna follow me. He's Jason
Okay.
fucking Voorhees. He's not
okay,
gonna stop.
hear me out, right? You're flying above Camp Crystal Lake, right?
Yes.
So, I am to assume you are above the lake itself.
Yes.
What if you cast off your grease shell onto Jason, making him too slippery because he has too much grease on him, while you descend and fall into the lake,
That would
sustaining
kill you.
minimal injury because
You are aware of how landing on water feels, right?
I'm 30 feet above the lake. I think a 30-foot drop.
But I think
in the water.
if you do enough flips, you might be able to stick it. You know?
You do realize that pencil diving is just gonna make me go even deeper, right? And that's actually even worse, because I might get the bends. Do you know how deep Camp Crystal Lake is? That shit's deep, bro.
But you just gotta be really good at swimming.
No, you're not. It doesn't change anything. Also, I never once said that Jason, like being in the air and doing the fucking aura walk doesn't imply we are not able to get down. He could just walk down whenever he wants to.
Oh, so you're the one that's trapped.
But why hasn't he is the question. What is he planning?
Because I haven't yet. I just said, he's waiting for me to make the first move.
But what if you
This is like a vocal game of Yomi Hustle.
Or part 6, you put like chains around his arms again, but you covered them in like water or something so that they're like permanently in a state of, like right above him, right?
No, but wouldn't that just make them like go off of him?
They're floating above him because water rejects oil and grease.
Right, but that would make the chains like not tight and loose.
Well, if you were to slam down the water-covered chains onto him, the water would then reject the grease, causing him to go flying downwards, wouldn't it?
Okay, so let me just continue talking. Okay, so you cover these chains and like a weight behind them, right? In grease. It's raining, so when you throw these chains around him with the weight, it locks around him because they're also greasy, so it doesn't just slide off of him because they're both, it's like grease x grease, you know what I mean? They're kind of just there.
Okay,
but then wait, because they're tied around with a weight at the end, because they're not a humanoid figure that can control their own weight, they go flying upwards because it's raining and they're covered in grease. So then it yanks Jason up into the sky and he can't do anything about it because he's tied to this.
Yeah, but question, real quick. You're saying that you would throw the chains around Jason, but if it's covered in grease, the second that it leaves your hand, the water would just take it up.
Uh-huh.
Which is why you gotta angle it. You gotta angle it.
That's why you angle them downwards when you throw it around him, so it like loops under his arms.
What is stopping Jason from just grabbing the chains when I throw them?
Well, then he'll just go flying up.
Floating upwards. Yeah.
But we're both floating upwards, is what I'm like.
No, but the chains
you're controlling where
control
you
themselves.
You can walk on the raindrops and climb down if you want. The chains.
I'm saying, if I throw the chains downward, wouldn't Jason just like move out of the way before it comes back up, or grab them or something?
No.
Admittedly, he doesn't seem to be that dexterous.
Yeah, well, we still haven't determined which Jason. Again, if it's Friday 5 Jason, that boy is nimble as hell.
Yeah, because isn't that
Jason's
not
Jason?
Jason?
Used to being in the
But
air.
where's Springtrap in all this?
And wait,
Springtrap's too busy jerking off in that one room in that one video and laughing.
we do also have to consider if Venus is in retrograde.
No, I have to consider if Jason, got that shit.
Jason is in retrograde.
Does Jason have that shit that wiggle?
What?
What?
Does Jason have that shit that wiggle?
A better question is, do you think that because of how like long Jason's been a rotting corpse, do you think that his pubic hair is radioactive?
Okay, I'm cutting this.